Hi, I'm Noah Gokul. I use they, them pronouns, and I am a queer multidisciplinary artist and educator from Oakland, California. And I'm currently living in Berlin. So, besides my artistic practice, I'm also an educator. And so I work as a trainer for a mental health organization called IDA, Institute for Development of Human Arts. And we are a training institute that is made up of current and prior mental health service users, survivors, psychiatrists, psychologists, and other clinicians, community activists, and artists. And really, we're coming together to transform mental health care through really advanced education and community development. A lot of the way that I approach my practice of art is around care, storytelling, and radical imagination. And I believe that my healing and liberation is tied into the healing and liberation of the world. And so a lot of my work is kind of tied into that space. I primarily have worked with sound, and so my the way that I've done my own artwork has been through making music. I've blended electronic, Caribbean music, Indian folk, and more to kind of create my own style. And I also would say that the way that my visual art has been to kind of explore through a very like experimental approach. So I would say that the way that I practice my art is from a place of feeling and from a place of trying to express what needs to be expressed in the moment. Um, and so, when it comes to the kind of mediums that I choose, if it feels like it needs to be through paint and be broad and be expansive because I'm feeling like I need to kind of express something that's large, then that's kind of the way that I will work. But also, art can be a very meditative space for me that really gets me into a zone. And so sometimes I want to focus smaller and kind of more on a miniature level to really uncover the finite and the detail. I feel like a lot of my process comes from a very intuitive approach of just allowing things to unfurl. And so I would say that this process, it's different every time, but it starts with a concept like the spiral, and it kind of happens to, I see different visions in my head of what ways I can explore this idea, or something that I just feel in my body needs to be expressed, and then I will paint or I will collect objects. And so I think that it really, there is no one way that I've done my process, but it begins with having a concept and trying to just value the process, and really see, in what ways can this concept be expressed in multiple mediums, and with multiple perspectives. And I would say that also my process is one of healing, of really wanting to unearth some way that I feel like I need to heal and express, and that can often guide the process by just feeling out these difficult areas that can be really uncomfortable sometimes, or really talking about different forms of trauma, or um, areas of growth that I need, and wanting to kind of dig deep into those areas. I think that a lot of my process also has to do with what are the things that I have on my hand. Like, I don't think that oftentimes I will go too far into, trying to get so many different things for a project, but really seeing what can I create with what I have, kind of coming from a very emergent process that, really like doesn't use more than I need to. I'm really passionate about redefining how we care for ourselves and others. And I believe that, mental health is just one aspect that we can focus on. But really, I believe that, it's an important topic in the larger topics of how we can liberate ourselves. And I think that we can't just talk about mental health as this, you know, really specific individual medical concepts without talking about the larger systems of oppression that cause people to really have all of these mental health problems. So I think there's a lot of different ways that we can redefine um, mental health. I think that it's really important that we have this conversation of the dominant system that can often limit how we create and our creativity. That system, can be can we can reimagine that system, and that, there are people who take medication and that's valid. I think that's really important to validate people who have that experience and take medication and go to therapy or do the more dominant ways of um, seeking mental health treatment, and that also there's a lot of different other ways to care for yourself and others, and that those things should also be just as valued in our society. So I think that, transformation of our society and oppressive systems is really key to our care and sustainability, and that that really healing alongside liberation is a creative act.